Today, Jason Collins became the first active, openly gay professional athlete playing in an American team sport. The NBA star, who last played for the Washington Wizards but is currently a free agent, made the announcement via a statement in Sports Illustrated, the first line of which read, "I'm a 34-year-old NBA center, I'm black, and I'm gay." And it's led many out there to call him nothing short of a hero. But not everybody shares that point of view. Joining us now to discuss, we've got Ben Shapiro, editor-at-large of Breitbart.com in Los Angeles. And on the phone, joining us from New York, we have Jared Max, ESPN radio host, who came out live on his show in 2011. So hello, gentlemen. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. Good evening.
Now, first, let me just start by saying that Collins has been praised by a great number of sports stars today. If you take a look at this piece here, which is in the resource well, we've got a slideshow looking at tweets from Kobe Bryant, Bill Clinton, not exactly a sports star, but I think you get the point. Baron Davis, a lot of big names out there. And even the White House commented on this news.
NBA player Jason Collins announced today that he's gay. Does the president have any response or any reaction to that announcement?
I haven't spoken with him about it. I can certainly tell you that here at the White House, we view that as another example of the progress that has been made and the evolution that has been taking place in this country, and commend him for his courage and support him in his in this effort, and hope that his fans and his team support him going forward.
Now, Jared, I've got a tweet from you today where you praised Collins, where you said, yeah, congratulations. Write your thoughts down today, tomorrow, and the day after. Capture these moments. Overall, what was your response when you heard this news?
I was just on my way to sleep this morning when it happened, because I work there, an early morning show on ESPN in New York, and my brother had called, and I almost didn't answer the phone. I saw it was him, and I was, and I picked it up, and he told me about the news. And at first, I just kind of took it almost as if he had said, "Oh, it's raining outside." I was, "Oh, okay," because I wanted to go to sleep. But as each second and minute passed, it was like, whoa, this is happening. And this right now, this conversation we're having, this is about the 8th or 9th or maybe the 10th interview, which I've done today as a result. It brings me back 2 years to my own coming out. And it is very much a feeling like they're saying at the White House. It's a day to celebrate. It's to celebrate who we are as human beings, as Americans, as a society which sometimes really holds itself back. And this is kind of a victory for all of us.
And as I said, a lot of people have said that Collins is a hero for being brave enough to actually do this and to come out openly. Do you share those feelings?
The idea of heroism and role models it's kind of a little bit of a tricky situation. He is a hero. He's a hero to a lot of people who he'll never even get to know about. He's a hero to a 16-year-old kid who's in high school right now, who knows he's physically attracted to say other guys on his own team, but is scared, half to daylights that he can't live his life. For that kid today, Jason Collins, he is a hero. There were so many people who had written to me, be it on Facebook or Twitter or separate emails that I received, where people were calling me a hero, and it's a little bit much. It was odd. I didn't, people told me how courageous what I did was, and I didn't see it so much as courage. I thought the courage came from all the years of staying in the closet. That's where the courage. I think today is the day for, where Jason, or where the story gets released in Sports Illustrated, where it's, the building of, I've had it. That's all. I get, I still do. I say, I have one life I know that I have. This is the only life that I know I have. Am I going to be a fool and waste it? Once I come to realize, hey, this is who I am, what's the big deal? The fact that the guy plays professional sports, today is a little bit of that, go back in time. Ronald Reagan, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. There's a big smash that went today, and I think there's going to be a lot that follows. I don't think, maybe I'm biased saying that, but people ask me in interviews, when I first came out and months after, when is it going to happen? And I told everybody for 12, 18 months maybe, and we're right about at that point now. I think that the ground was kind of fertile for it. There's never been a more accepting, open possibility for a gay player, a male gay player, to step out and do this. Look, at this point, we all have a friend, a best friend, a close friend, a cousin, a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, or is one of our favorite people who's gay. And we come to realize, oh, you know what? Oh, they don't have the cooties. They're just like me. It's just what, they like vanilla ice cream, I like chocolate ice cream. It does come down to that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is definitely something that has been spoken about at length recently too. We'll see if you're right, if this really does create, a wave of other players perhaps being able to come out and speak the truth as well. But Ben, let's go to you. You took a rather different approach to the news today. You went to Twitter to take down the hype a notch. Here I got one of your first tweets that said, so Jason Collins is a hero because he's gay. Our standard for heroism has dropped quite a bit since Normandy. And then you went on with a few other tweets there. So tell me your thinking behind this. Oh, Ben, you're muted, so unfortunately I can't hear you yet. So if you can unmute yourself. If you go to the right corner, you'll see a microphone symbol that can unmute you.
There we go.
There we go. Now we can hear you.
Great. Sorry about that. I mean, my feeling is this. I'm happy for Jason Collins. I hope that he leads a happier life now that he's out of the closet. I think my feeling about, the heroism of what he did is really one of heroism has to be, bravery has to be done in the face of tremendous opposition. I think my biggest problem is with the media treating this as though this is some sort of groundbreaking, ground-shaking moment. Martina Navratilova came out of the closet 30 years ago. I mean, we live in a country that is widely accepting. This is not 1947 with racism. This is not even 1997 with Ellen DeGeneres coming out of the closet. This is 2013. David Stern, who's the commissioner of basketball, came out and endorsed it. The president of the United States has come out and endorsed it. In fact, I'm still waiting to see, if there's any opposition at all. I haven't seen any. I think for the most part, most people, either are happy about it or they shrug. And I think that that's America we live in. I think that it's an injustice that the media continues to portray America as such a bigoted, homophobic place that when a basketball player announces he's gay, it is somehow earth-shattering news.
Well, let me just show you a tweet here that I've one from Miami Dolphins wide receiver Mike Wallace. Some people were saying the first pro athlete to make a homophobic tweet was Mike Wallace, and it's not showing the tweet right now. It says all these beautiful women in the world and guys want to mess with other guys, shaking my head. And 30 minutes later, he actually deleted that tweet. But there have been some negative reactions. And the thing is that, it is earth-shattering when we don't have a lot of athletes coming out and saying that openly that they are gay. This wouldn't be a big deal if this was something that happened all the time.
Well, I think that you will see it happen more. I do agree with that. But look, David Stern fined Kobe Bryant $100,000 2 years ago because he used an insensitive slur with regard to gays. The GM of the Golden State Warriors is openly gay, and he'd already been the president and CEO of the Golden State Warriors, Rick Welts, is openly gay. This is not a league that is anti-gay, and the fact that there are a few idiots out there who are saying anti-gay things does not take away from the fact that by and large this is a massively, overwhelmingly tolerant country. And we have, as a country, have made a decision that we don't want to, do anything negative against folks who are gay. And I think that it's a mistake to, I don't understand exactly what merits the lead on Sports Illustrated, the lead on Sports Center, and throwing out the first pitch at the Red Sox game, announcing that you're gay. There are a lot of folks who do it every day in much riskier circumstances than a backup center for the Washington Wizards, who, by the way, will probably get a 2-year contract, according to Jason Whitlock, largely based on the fact that folks want to do outreach to the gay community.
And so, but I'm just wondering, when you say that with your tweet, for example, you say, so Jason Collins is a hero because he's gay, our standard for heroism has dropped. I mean, you don't think that actually lends to this idea that perhaps some people are not as open and as accepting in this country? Who are you to judge and say whether or not he should be considered someone who is a hero and inspirational to other young men out there?
Well, here's actually the problem that I have. I think that you can accept and tolerate people's behavior, and that demonstrates non-homophobia. I think that it is ridiculous to suggest that just because you're not celebrating, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, somebody coming out of the closet, and you think, it's relatively unimportant in the grand scheme of things because people should be able to live their lives the way that they want. I don't really understand. There are folks who are saying that that was a homophobic tweet. I'm still confused as to how it's homophobic simply to say that you don't think it's a heroic move in today's America to come out of the closet the same way that it was maybe 20 years ago.
Jared, do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, what's your response to, to Ben's take here?
Yeah, it's truthfully, it's a little disturbing hearing some of that, but I get it. I heard, after I came out and I'd hear a lot of, well, what do you need to tell us for anyway? The bottom line is that there's something that straight people, I think, by and large, unless they, are recognizing this or have been told or educated on it, don't quite recognize, I think, that the luxury that it is for somebody who is gay to live openly and authentically, to go through life and not be scared to go to a work social function, to go out with your friends at work, but what it means to make up some excuse to not go because you're afraid they're, out at some function, ask you some questions you might not want to answer. The level of heroism, I mean, we have heroes every single day in all aspects of life. Jason Collins didn't do what he did to become a superhero. Jason Collins did what he did. And again, I'm not inside his head, but I'm just guessing, to live openly and authentically, to live his life. Now, it's unfortunate because don't think that the person who's coming out wants to go and share this news to the world, because it's the most personal news you could share, and it's the news that you would fight and say, this is none of your business. But at some point, we live in a world, you're a public figure, you want to live your life. Well, at some point, someone says, you know what, that's enough. I'm going to live my life. You have a problem with it, that's not my problem. So I don't think, and I wonder also, with Ben, maybe when he sent out that tweet, and I sent tweets before that I think, well, am I really saying what I want to say, or am I kind of just going against the grain with an idea of something? And I don't necessarily, I can't speak for Ben, but I don't understand where would there be any vitriol? Why is there any problem with people having, say a certain day to celebrate, or for this to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated? You mentioned, this has been going on. Well, you know what hasn't been going on? We have not had an active pro athlete in the United States, in North American, our four major pro sports, a male athlete come out. Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, Cheryl Swoops, Brittany Griner. There has been a different reaction. And the same way as I think back to, let's say in college, we were all in college and we all went out and did some crazy things sometimes. And as somebody who was closeted at the time, I was well aware that it was okay for, say, maybe two of my girlfriends, if they wanted to go off and experiment on some different things in life. But it was never cool for two guys. There's a macho effect there. We've gone several years since then. And I think it's okay now it's not that weird for even a professional basketball player to say, yeah, I'm gay.
Well, let's let Ben respond. I mean, Ben, do you have anything to say to that as to, what Jared...
No, I totally agree with a lot of that. I mean, I especially agree with what he said at the very end, where he says that, it's not that strange anymore for folks to be gay. And that's why I think that it's a mistake for the media to portray it as though this is some groundbreaking moment, when the truth is there is no resistance here. There is nobody who is really coming out and saying, I have yet to hear the response really saying that Jason Collins should not have come out of the closet. I'm still, no one has said that.
But the thing is, Ben, you have to realize,
it's a great triumph. I'm wondering why.
Let me read a comment from one of our viewers. This one's from the Norwegian 76, who says, this is the Republican way to deal with social issues, pretend that they do not exist. And I think that he does have a little bit of a point there, in that there still is a lot of bigotry in this country. We still have laws on the books that deny people equal rights when it comes to the right to be able to visit their loved ones in the hospital, the right to be able to marry openly if they are in a gay relationship. And so, you can't say that everything is fine and we're at a good place in the country where there still aren't, inhibitions to people being able to live their lives.
This is what I think is the real agenda in large part. I think the idea of equating, support for traditional marriage with tremendous anti-gay sentiment that would put Jason Collins back in the closet is silly, and I think it's actually the real political agenda underlying a lot of the kind of coverage of issues like this. We are all happy for Jason Collins. He can live the life that he wants to live. I don't think that it is worthy of saying that America's such a homophobic, nasty place that we have to, treat this as some sort of grand breakthrough in the American experiment.
Hey, Ben, let me ask you something. Do you have kids, Ben?
I don't.
Ben, you don't. Are you going to have kids one day, maybe?
I hope so.
Okay. You have a couple kids. You have your son one day, he comes home, and he tells you, hey, listen, yeah, I'm the all-star of the baseball team. But, Dad, I need to tell you something else about me. I like boys. I'm attracted to my schoolmates or something. What do you do? Do you maybe think a little bit differently along the line? Hold on. Do you think maybe a little bit differently along the lines of and have compassion for the struggle that one has gone through to keep his mouth shut, almost for others, for the benefit of others? I just don't see how you can't see the heroism
Jared,
here.
I have nothing but compassion for these folks, and I have nothing but compassion for Jason Collins, and I hope he lives the life he wants to live. What I don't think is appropriate is slandering the American people by implication as a bunch of nasty folks who are out to get folks like Jason Collins. I just don't see that in today's America.
Who's slandering American folks? I'm saying this is a great day for American people. This is a huge day for Americans.
Jared, you just said to me that, people like me, people who are conservative, would not even accept, presumably, their own sons if their sons came home and said they were gay.
And I didn't use any word conservative. I'm just hearing this. I'm thinking, I don't get it. Why is there... Let's just say it has nothing to do with being gay. Let's just say it's the story is I like to read the New York Times, and you like to read the New York Post. You read the New York Post, I'll read the New York Times, and let's both enjoy life and move on, and not have to say about.
I don't understand the disagreement.
Does.
I agree with you. I agree with you, and this is my problem. I think most Americans agree with both of us, and that's why I think that this is overblown.
All right, let me just. We're gonna have to wrap it up here in a moment, but Ben, let me just ask you too. So I have one tweet here that was in response to your original tweet that says, "But for real, Ben Shapiro, it's a shame you couldn't have been gunned down on D-Day."
No.
Have you gotten a lot of responses like this?
Oh, sure. I mean, tolerance. I would prefer to see it run both ways.
There's no room for that. It's disgusting.
Couldn't agree with you more. Tolerance definitely needs to run both ways. Ben and Jared, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Overall, I think that this is obviously a very big day for professional sports in America, and I agree. I think that the Collins is a hero, and good for him for being able to come out, being able to be honest, and as Jared, as you said, hopefully help and inspire a lot of other young men that are out there if they are perhaps struggling with the same issues to whether or not to be true about this. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys, we have more top stories coming up in a moment. Stick around.